as educators, our push is to make sure that the boys and girls are continuing to learn, continuing to master those skills. All that we're asking is for parents, do what you can. If you feel overwhelmed,
It's time for positive actions.
Hola. Es hora de acción positiva.
Positiva. Oh my goodness. I'm sending a hug to you, Miss Shema, and to you, Morgan County Scholars. Look, Mrs. Hott and Miss Shema. Guess what? Miss Shema, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Hey, you want to tell the kids we've got something pretty awesome coming up?
Yes, we have something really cool. We were talking with your principal here at the school in Morgan County, and they have really wonderful advice to tell you. They are sharing their routine, their life now, what they are doing, what the positive action that they are using. It's pretty cool.
It's really cool. So stay tuned. Coming up on Fun Fridays, boys and girls, on the Daily Positive Action Community Vlogcast, Shema and I are going to talk to your principals. And you know what? They really miss you. They told us so, didn't they, Shema?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Your principals are missing you guys. So coming soon, we have a special interview. Warm Springs Intermediate, the middle school, Paw Paw, Pleasant View, and Mr. Nida at Berkeley Springs High School. Right, Shema?
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Are you wondering what they've been up to? How about you, Shema?
Yes.
What do you think Mr. BECKMAN's doing right now? I don't know. What do you think Mr. Cable's been doing? Who's putting the flag up? Want to find out? So tune in on a Friday, guys, because they're talking about you. And boy, they've been really busy, haven't they, Shema?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, here we go.
Action word for this week is sharing. And in Spanish, compartir.
Here we go. Woohoo! It's time for positive action.
Hora. Es hora de acción positiva.
Hey, Morgan County Scholars, boys and girls, it's Fun Friday, and Miss Shema and I have a friend to talk to you today for our possum principals. Can you all wave and say hello? Look who we have with us today.
good morning, everybody.
Hey, look who it
Hello.
is, Mr. BECKMAN.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
You're quite welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Just trying to adjust and adapt to the changes that keep getting thrown our way each day.
Yeah, it's a new normal that's not normal, right?
Exactly. There is no normal anymore. I've come to that conclusion a long time ago.
That's okay.
Yeah, our new normal is no normal.
That works, right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, we've got some things. I know that the principals have a lot to do, and you're talking to teachers and families and students. So if you have some time, Ms.
Sure.
Shame and I, we'd like to ask you some questions to share with our families.
Sure. Be happy to do that.
Let's get started. So, Mr. BECKMAN, can you please share with our community what is your new routine like? So, since the stay-at-home order, what do you do? How are you balancing home and work all in the same place? And what's your new normal like? What are you doing to help yourself?
Okay, so I'm still trying to find a new normal. Like I said a minute ago, every day seems to be a little bit different. But I spend a lot of my day, I'm still working, still supporting the families, still supporting the teachers and the staff. So I spend a lot of my days calling my teachers and service personnel at school. So my assistant and I took the staff and we divided them in half. And so each week we have half the staff to call. And then the next week we flip so that within 2 weeks we've talked to everybody.
Oh,
so
how's everybody doing? Are they okay?
They're doing very well. They miss everybody. That's what I hear over and over and over again is I miss my kids. And that's the same with me. It's like, I miss hearing the chatter throughout the building and the noise and, I just miss it. And there's 2 or 3 days a week I'm down at the school just to get something, checking on things. And it's just so quiet and lonely down there. And it just, I just miss everybody being in the building.
I bet.
But
building misses it. Yeah.
Yeah, the building misses everybody too. It's definitely a lonely place right now.
Oh, wow. You know what? Because I post for the partnership on social media, and I see the teachers' posts a lot that, I miss my kids. But for me, hearing you say that and the image of like the quietness and all that, that's sort of very impactful.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that.
Sure. I mean, during the summer, I worked down there a good bit, just throughout the summer, getting ready for the next school year. And it's a different quiet right now. I mean, even in the summer, it's quiet in there, but the custodians are in there cleaning and getting things ready for the next school year. Sometimes there's secretaries in there, the phone's ringing, I mean, there's still business happening, still noise, still things occurring. And now it's a different kind of quiet, and it is so, I don't even know what the right word is, so lonely, and it's not even a peaceful quiet. It's just quiet, and I don't know.
How are you feeling? I mean, are you doing anything different for because we worry about you too. We miss you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So balancing the work routine. So so it's a lot of reaching out to the staff, reaching out to parents, checking on the kids, that kind of stuff. We try to meet weekly with the staff to meet virtually weekly with the staff just so that we can see each other. But then, I've also balanced it. I have a 2nd grade son, so it's trying to work in his schoolwork and all of that as well. I've taken some time to kind of rekindle my passion for woodworking. So over the last several years, I've kind of dabbled in it some, and this has been a good opportunity since I'm here to be able to do some of those things.
What's woodworking?
So, like the latest project, I just made a clock out of wood. I've done a lot of pictures.
Can you show us? Is it there?
Well, it's not in the room where I am. Let me see. I have a picture on my phone.
Oh yeah, put it up there. I want to see.
Let me see if we can make that work. Yes, I can. I don't know, there might be too much of a glare. So it's a cuckoo clock made out of oak.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
And these are pine cones down here,
Yeah, but they're those are not wooden. Those are like a resin or a plastic almost.
Probably you have to balance. There's probably a lot of physics and science involved in that.
Yeah. Yes.
How about the little door? Does something come out of the door?
So there's a little bird that comes out every hour, and it's a cuckoo bird, and he chirps the number of hours. So if it's 9 o'clock, he chirps 9 times.
And at nighttime too, does it wake you up?
Nope. There's actually a sensor in it, so that if it's dark in the room, it won't chime.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was worried about that when I started building it. I was like, oh, this thing's going to be, going cuckoo all night long, but there's a sensor in it
That's
so that it
cool.
doesn't do that. So, and like the leaf that was on there, the pendulum leaf,
Yeah.
that was, I carved
Yeah.
that. Let me see if I can get rid of the glare.
There it is. Wow, that's really cool. So you've been working on that's woodworking. Wow.
Yeah, so I've done a couple clocks, some picture frames, some small pieces of furniture, nothing major.
Furniture too?
Yeah, like end tables and those kinds of things. So, I mean,
Well,
not just in the past. I didn't do tables and stuff.
Yeah.
Here
That's
recently.
amazing. I never knew you had those skills. And my son-in-law, he works in DC, and he's been home since early March, working
Right.
from home. But he's been doing some woodworking and what's it called? Like when something's old and restoration.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that, when I saw the wood, it kind of reminded, nothing quite that detailed, but
Right.
he and my daughter, they've been, when the weather's nice, they get their stuff out in the yard and sand and stuff.
Right. And do. It's a
Cool.
great time to do it. Yes.
Now, you said you had a second grader. What sort of activities does he do? Or it's for, right? Yeah.
Yes. So so we're doing a lot of trying to keep up with the schoolwork that his teacher's sending out. We also have him doing a lot of Freckle. Freckle, which is a computer-based program that Widmyer uses. It helps support reading and math. So it's an online program. So we used it in the building, but parents can use it at home as well.
Okay.
So if you want to use it and you don't have the login information, reach out to your teacher and they can share that with you.
Well, that's good to know.
So he does that, and then his teacher has them use a program. Also, it's called Extra Math, which again just helps with basic math facts. So that's something else he does a lot. Grayson's also very involved in martial arts, and so he's continuing classes through the Martial Arts Academy. He has about, most weeks 4 classes. Some weeks he'll have 6 classes that he attends virtually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He does them through Zoom. So he's involved in those as well.
My boys have trombone or baritone, euphonium lessons and drum lessons virtually with a music teacher. That's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. It's when they close. That was my question. How are we going to continue martial arts? What's that going to look like? Are they just going to kind of stop doing it? But they found a way to do it. The instructor comes online and does the class with them.
But look how creative we're all being. And
right.
When you have to do something else, we come up with something, right?
Exactly. We've all learned things that we never thought we were going to have to, or I've seen, with my teachers, it's a lot of things that they used to say, well, sometime I want to learn how to. Eventually I want to. Well, now they have to. So they've learned lots of new technologies, new strategies. They're taking a lot of classes themselves on how to do distance learning and support basically homeschooling and all that. So
well, there you go. There, you just told us there's a positive side to this pandemic, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool.
You have to hang on to is look for those silver linings and all the positive that's coming from it.
Yep, that's how it makes my day.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's see what else we have, Shema.
The next question is, are there some books or movie you have been reading that you can recommend to your school family?
Sure. So I've just started this book. Actually, a friend sent it to me. It is called The Power of Ted, and it's written by David Emerald. It's probably in reverse, so everybody will have to read it backwards.
No, it's not backwards.
Oh, okay. On my screen, it is backwards. So
that's weird.
Right. So, but it talks a lot about how to work through the drama that life gives you.
Oh.
So, like I said, a real good friend of mine who is in management for a medical facility. As all this was happening and everything, we were talking one day about, how it's impacting her, and I was talking about how it was impacting the school and all the chaos that it threw everybody into. and she said that she had just finished this book, and she's like, it completely changed my outlook on my job, how I handle situations. And so she sent me a copy of it. Like I said, I just received it, so I haven't really had a chance to dig into it yet, but I'm really looking forward to what it has to share. So as far as movies and TV, I know my family and I, we just watched Picard on CBS, which is a spin-off of the Star Trek series. So it's based around the later years of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and who was one of the main characters in like Star Trek Next Generation for the Trekkies out there. Cool. So we just finished that show. Of course, with my 8-year-old boy, he loves Legos. There was Lego Masters was on Fox, and so we just finished that series, and so that was kind of a weekly show for us as well.
That's cool. How about you, Shema? What you been watching?
Toy Story and Charles Chaplin and Buster Keaton. That's what she wants.
Right.
That's
great.
Cool. I have a movie buff at my house, so we've been watching a lot of movies and on apps on Netflix and all kinds of stuff. Last night we watched an old Paul Newman movie, Cool Hand Luke. And
okay.
Yeah, that was kind of neat because he's 15 and he's like, Paul Newman, isn't that the salad dressing guy? And we're like, oh, he's an actor too. So,
so much more.
Yeah, so much more. All right, let's see. I have another question.
Sure.
During this pandemic, can you tell us, have you seen positive actions out there?
Yeah, I have seen tons of positive actions.
Oh, cool.
So, so the schools through all of this have continued to provide meals for the students, and the families. So for me, that's my main example, just because I've been involved with that throughout this entire time. So that has kind of changed how we do it since we first started. Originally, we were doing it daily, and then we have bus drivers that delivered it. So now we're doing it one day a week. We partnered with Cape State Park, and they actually prepare the meals for us, and then they're delivered to 4 of the schools. And parents that have signed up for them can come during the designated times and pick up their meals. And it's just to see the people that have stepped up to prepare the meals, to deliver the meals, to hand out the meals at each site. So the charity that people are showing, the thankfulness of all the parents. I mean, so many positive compliments and so much feedback from people on just the support and the appreciation that the schools are continuing to do this. So that's probably just because I am so involved in that every day. But then I have been to the grocery store a couple times just needing a few things, and just seeing the generosity and the compassion of people there, helping each other. I've seen some younger people shopping for some older people who maybe weren't able to get around as well or had some health issues. And so just that compassion and caring has been amazing.
Amazing. That's beautiful. And in a world crisis, a pandemic, those are the things that bring people together.
Yes.
And I've been home. I've only been to the store twice in 6 weeks, but and it's, I don't know, I hope others, when they listen to you tell the stories, it makes them feel good too, because we're not all out there seeing what you see. So
right.
it makes my heart feel real good to hear about it. That's
right.
Awesome.
Next question.
Okay.
Do you have advice? What kind of advice that you can give to families and kids to help them with their social and emotional wellness in this weird situation that we are now?
Sure. So the biggest piece of advice I have is to try to find ways to connect to people. We get stuck in this mindset of we have to stay inside, which we should be staying inside, but there are ways to connect to people outside of our home. Call somebody. With technology, a lot of times you can use Facebook Messenger, you can Zoom people, FaceTime. So phone calls are great, but there's a lot of digital medias, like, we're using Zoom now to be able to talk to each other. So there's lots of platforms out there where you can communicate. And while, we can't see each other in person, I'm at least able to see both of you.
Yeah.
My son, and I use him a lot, but he has discovered social gaming. So he's been playing a ton of Minecraft with a couple of his friends. So it's not in person, but he's able to interact and have some of those, continue to build some of those relationships that he had. So that's probably my biggest piece of advice, is just find a way to connect with somebody outside of your home. It's important to use this time to build the relationships within the home, but also connect outside. Don't become totally isolated. And the other thing is, if you are able, we're fortunate enough, we have a nice sized yard, so we're able to go outside and we can walk up and down our street and, be out in our yard and still maintain that social distance piece of it. So if you're able, get outside. Don't stay cooped up in your house. Walk up and down your street, again, maintaining social distancing and keeping your space from people, so we're limiting the spread of this virus. But get outside and enjoy that fresh air, and participate in. Spring is my favorite time of year, and so this is a great time if you're out there, if you garden, or just to look at the flowers, and everything coming back to life from winter.
Yeah.
So to me, that helps my spirit, is just seeing everything starting to blossom and bud out and all of that. So then the other thing I'd say to parents and families is, it's okay. As educators, our push is to make sure that the boys and girls are continuing to learn, continuing to master those skills. All that we're asking is for parents, do what you can. If you feel overwhelmed with the work that's being sent home, if you have 3 or 4 kids and they're in 3 or 4 different places, if you have one and you're overwhelmed, take a break. It's okay to say, we're not going to do any schoolwork today. We're going to spend time as a family. We're going to play a game. We're going to do whatever. And then tomorrow, read a book. Pick up the work then. But it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to do what works for your family when it comes to like the schoolwork and all of that stuff. Yes, we want you to continue to encourage your children to read, to learn their math facts, to write. Absolutely. Try to find ways to incorporate that into your life. Have them cook with you. Read a recipe. That's a great way to learn how to read, learn math, and if you really want to throw the kids for a whirlwind, make them double the recipe, So if you're making cookies, make 2 batches at once so that they have to practice, they're using their math to count out 6 eggs instead of 3 eggs, those kinds of things. So find ways to do the schoolwork, but in your normal daily routines. Have them collect things outside and sort them into categories, sort them by shape, count them, sort them by color, all of that stuff. So it's okay. We will all make it through this, and we will, whenever we do return to school, whatever that's going to look like, we will meet your children where they are and work with them from that point. So the biggest thing that I ask is, if you can support them in reading and basic math facts, then I'm happy with that. If you can do more, great. But if that's all you can do, that's fine too.
Aw. I was going to ask you next, to imagine that, you're at an assembly and all of the families and all of the kiddos at Widmyer's are right in the room with you right now. What would you say? And
Right.
And I kind of think you just did.
I think, sorry. I took your question from you. But
No.
yeah,
Perfect.
Right. And that's a lot of this is, this is nobody's fault.
Right.
We didn't ask for this. We are all kind of just in this together and trying to make the best of it. Some people still have to go to work. I'm fortunate I'm able to work from home. Some people unfortunately have lost their jobs. So, we're all in a situation here that's not any fault of our own. So we just have to do what's best for our family. And I believe that wholeheartedly, that we make the best of this situation. There's that old saying, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
Hey.
So it's you make the best of what you have. And for us, it's been a good time to kind of reconnect as a family, having those evening meals around the table again that we had kind of lost just because we were busy before.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have all the places to go anymore, so it's giving that opportunity to sit around the table and have dinner again, and to have those evening conversations. But yeah, so everybody's doing fine. We're separate, but we're in this together, and that's we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. You make do. That was awesome. In keeping connected, that's a neat thing, because you don't realize all the technology. Nikki was telling me, she's like, oh my goodness, this is so much, but
right.
All the other moms are having, and dads and caregivers, the grandparents who are caregivers, that we just
Right.
need a moment. And Shema was telling me, trying to balance it all with kids in the house, it can be crazy. So if there's anything we can do to help and connect, and let us know. We have an app we're trying to have on a device where you can see it. You can connect with the community that way, and Nikki's going to have
Wonderful.
a mom time play date, just a place to unload. And I feel because we miss that social, I feel better just seeing you there,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I often joked around at school, oh, it'd be great if I could just do my job from home.
Oh,
But now that I have to do my job from home, I don't like it. I didn't realize how much I needed that social interaction, those hugs from the kids, the high fives, the smiles, and just that social piece of it. So it's now that I have to do it, I didn't realize how much I wouldn't like it.
yeah, but you are doing great. I mean,
Right.
we get
Thank
to see
you.
you smile, and you're bringing your staff together, and you're saying beautiful things for your families and your students, and what great ideas. I can't wait for them to watch this. It's really cool. So if Shema and I can help in any way, and if there's something you want to say that we can relay on the broadcast, we're here. We want to help too and
Sure.
connect. So
Okay, right. No, I appreciate that. So yeah, the other thing is, if parents need support, reach out to the schools. I'm not at the school, but actually the school's phone's forward to my personal phone.
wow.
So, so you can still reach out to us. You can send us an email, reach your teacher and say, I need help. Widmyer was able, right before all of this, we brought on a half-time social worker with support from the Morgan County Partnership, which we really appreciate.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yes, she is. So we have Miss Kidwell, who can help with families who need some support. We have Miss McGuire, our school counselor. We can reach out to the county social worker, Miss Friels. So we have some resources, we have some supports that we can offer up to some families if they need, if they're just struggling. Struggling emotionally, if it's too much to be cooped up with they're just frustrated because they're cooped up with their kids. Reach out to us.
You're not alone, Morgan County. You're not alone.
Exactly. And I know the other schools are the same way. All the schools' phones are being forwarded to a phone that can be answered, and there are supports available for all the schools. So, yeah, definitely reach out.
Reach out, guys. Hey, well, I think Miss Shema, we got all our questions. I think we did, and then
Right.
some. That was great. Well, we'll get going so you can get back to talking to your families, and maybe if you want to update us on the next clock, well, as the summer goes on, still at home, we can like, hey, look what Mr. Beckman made. Hey, I wonder what your students are making.
Right.
Maybe
That-
you remember their little boy made us a Christmas. It's still in my windowsill, out of the wood.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, a wooden block from your school, and it had to Mrs. Hot, but I can't remember.
Right. Yes.
So it'd be neat to share what they're doing too.
Right. Yeah,
All
this is
right,
wonderful.
well,
Well,
keep
thank you all for doing this. It's been amazing. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been great to kind of share the experience, to talk
Yeah.
about it as well. So I really appreciate you all doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. Our pleasure. It's good to see you. And Morgan County students, it's good to see you too. Stay
Take care, everybody.
All right, we'll say bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
I am a positive action kid. That's what I am. That's how I live. I am a positive action kid. That's what I am.